I returned my boyfriend PS5 birthday gift after he called me a thot at his own party. Mike and I had been together for 4 years. Solid years. The kind where you know each other's coffee orders and finish each other's sentences. When his birthday came around, he told me exactly what he wanted. A PS5. He wasn't subtle about it. He sent me links, mentioned it weekly, even joked that it was the only thing standing between him and happiness. So I dipped into my savings and bought it. It wasn't a small purchase, but 4 years together meant something. I wanted to see his face light up. I wanted to be the person who made his birthday unforgettable. The party was at his apartment. 20 people, maybe more. Music loud enough to feel in your chest. I walked in carrying the box, and the room erupted. Mike's friends started yelling. Someone filmed it. Mike grabbed me and lifted me off the ground like I just handed him the lottery. It felt good. It felt right. Then Jessica opened her mouth. She was standing near the gift table, drink in hand, smirking. Mike's best female friend. I'd met her a few times before. Always got a weird vibe, but I chalked it up to her being protective of him. She looked at the PS5, then at me, and said, I wish I was a thot so I could afford a PS5 too. The room didn't go silent. No one else heard her, but I did. I stared at her. Excuse me? She waved her hand dismissively. Never mind. Then she walked away, laughing under her breath. I felt heat crawl up my neck. I found Mike in the kitchen, surrounded by friends, still grinning. Hey, I said, pulling him aside. What was that about? What about? Jessica just called me a thot. He laughed. Not a small laugh. A full, careless laugh. She's just messing with you. You can't take a joke? That's not a joke, Mike. Why would she even say that? He sighed like I was being difficult. Look, everyone knows you were a thot before you met me. It's not a big deal. I felt my stomach drop. What? You know? He shrugged. The whole thing with Jake and Adam, messing with best friends? Come on. I couldn't speak for a second. He was talking about something that happened when I was 18. Something I'd been upfront about from the start. When I was 18, I dated a guy named Jake. We met online, talked for 3 months, then ended things. A few weeks later, I started seeing Adam, a coworker. I didn't know they were close friends. I didn't know because Jake and I never got serious enough for me to meet his friends. When I found out, I was horrified. I stopped dating entirely for 2 years. I thought about it constantly, wondering if I'd done something wrong, even though I hadn't known. When I met Mike, I told him everything. I didn't want secrets. He said he understood. He said my past didn't matter. But now, standing in his kitchen with his friends laughing in the next room, he was using it against me. Mike, I didn't know they were friends. I told you that. He patted my shoulder. Literally patted me like I was a child. It's okay. You're not who you were back then. If I could get over your colorful past and your thot mentalities to give you a chance, then you can get over Jessica's comments and give her another chance? I didn't say anything. I walked back into the living room. I went straight to the gift table. I picked up the PS5, still in its box with the bow on top. Mike noticed. Babe, what are you doing? I didn't answer. I walked out the door. He followed me into the hallway. Are you serious right now? Don't be dramatic. I kept walking. My phone started ringing before I even got to my car. I ignored it. By the time I got home, I had 20 missed calls from Mike and a dozen texts from his friends. Jessica sent me a paragraph about how I couldn't handle the truth. I didn't read past the first line. I pulled the bow off the box and drove straight to the store. They refunded it without question. The cashier even smiled and said, changed your mind? Something like that? I went home and blocked everyone except Mike. I wanted him to know exactly what I did. I sent him one message. You deserve better than me. Find someone who wasn't a thot and get the PS5 from them. I returned it. He called immediately. I answered. He was screaming. Are you fucking kidding me? You returned it? You're the biggest asshole I've ever met. You called me a thot in front of your friends, Mike. I was joking. No, you weren't. You should be happy I ignored your colorful past. Do you know how many guys wouldn't have given you a chance? I hung up. The messages didn't stop. His friends called me petty. They said I brought this on myself by making poor choices. Jessica said I was proving her point. I didn't respond. Mike sent one final text. You ruined everything. I hope you're happy. I stared at it for a long time. Then I deleted his number. I kept the refund.